Yes, thank you for sticking with us. And you just watched that promotion now talking about what's happening across the globe from 6 p.m. today all through to Friday, 6 p.m. So you want to make sure that you clock in your calendar and your time and make sure you don't miss out of Rapathon with our dear man of God. Now, today's conversation on the angles, you see, across the globe, this is something that affects the very heart of who we are. We've seen over time how that cultures have clashed, merged, and sometimes, even gone way beyond merging. And it has brought or sparked a lot of conversation. People say that colonization started it, but of course, globalization watered it. What am I talking about? Talking about the Western influence on the African heritage. I want to be looking at that on the show this evening. Of course, I won't be doing the show alone, as I have my great amiable guest with me this evening in the studio. And I'll start off by introducing the one directly opposite me, talking about, are you ready for that? Emmanuel Uwaje, welcome to The Angles.
Yes, thank you very much, Mary. Good to be here again.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. And right next is the beautiful Jamila. Jamila, good evening, welcome to the show.
Thank you, good evening.
Yes, and right next, we have our elder statesman, as I like to call him, Henry Seymour. We salute you, sir. Welcome to the show.
I'm not an elder statesman. Please. I keep telling her this every time.
What are you?
I'm a man. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not.
But you seem to dress like them with you.
I mean, we are the wealth of wisdom.
That is just, you see, that's why we're talking about the topic. That's why the topic is important and very, significant in Africa. So this is a hybrid of African attire.
Wow.
Let me use that word.
So
hybrid.
when we call you that name, just accept it.
No,
Yes.
because no, don't call me
Maybe you
an
should come with
elder
inside.
because I know what elders, people that you refer to as elders.
I don't know
let
what
me,
you
let
see
me,
in
let
you.
me
Let me
grow,
tell you
let me
what
grow,
I
please.
see in you.
Let me grow to
I
become
know,
an
wait,
elder,
hold on.
please.
Let me tell you what I see in you that
Yes.
makes me call you that. It's the wisdom that you exude.
Exactly.
So I don't think,
So-
they say when you get compliments, you accept it. Right?
This
I know
compliment
you're
doesn't
trying
sit well
to-
with
He
me.
has a question mark.
Yes, he has a question mark. So that's why
Okay, that's not the topic for today.
I'm glad to be here, everybody.
Yeah,
Good to
let's
be
not
here.
make Henry the center of the conversation. But somehow
Please.
he would make it. Let's
Please.
watch. We'll see now.
Please.
Okay, so welcome to the show. Let's talk about this. From the way we dress, the way we speak, the way we worship, even the food that we eat.
Yeah.
People say that Western culture has left its mark, and it has sparked up the question of, do you think that this mark is a signature of growth and progress, or a scar of lost traditions? So, excuse me, I want to ask you, Henry, when we talk about Western influence and the likes of it, like I did say in the opening speech, that it started from colonization, right? And then we now get to see what they call globalization, which when you even research or go through it, find out that they're pretty much the same thing. And we see our African leaders, our African people, conduct their way of life, and then sometimes it begs the question, do you really want to portray your African identity, or are you okay with the Western influence coming in to, have their own dictate, or of course, to an extent, enrich your society, and then you've bought it? So I want to ask, do you think Western influence is simply colonization continuing in another form? Let's start from that.
Western influence, yes, there's something called neo-colonialism anyways. So it is a continuation of colonialism. It's just that this day, it is subtle, it's subliminal, so you could be influenced without knowing you're already being influenced. Do you understand? Like, when we speak English right now, we're speaking English, we're talking in English, it's a language, it's a mode of expression, but English is not sufficient in expression. English is not. And this is a worldwide knowledge. Do you understand? English is limited in some of its vocabulary. I can tell you that is the reason why, let me mention France, Germany, some of these countries don't speak English. They rather speak their language.
Yeah.
Even the Arabians, you know, they speak their language because some of the things you want to express as an individual, and you try to use English, you find out that there is limited. Do you understand? But well, we have come to accept it. No thanks to colonialism and the rest, we've come to accept it to the point where, and we accepted it hook, line, and sinker, to the point where, as I'm talking now, if I should make a grammatical error, you know, even you that is watching will probably say, he just made an error, forgetting that I'm not an Englishman. I'm not an Englishman. Do you understand? We all have our roots. Do you understand? We're Africans. And Africa has, especially Nigeria, we have close to 500 and close to 600 languages. Yeah, you understand? So we just adopted English because they said, oh, adopt English and so that everybody can, and it's for them.
Okay.
It's just for them.
All right. I want to ask you, Jamila, I mean, what's wrong with the way we dress? What's wrong with the way we speak? What's wrong with our way of life? Why do people usually have the ideology that, oh, it's the Western influence affecting what we wear, how we look, and the likes of it?
Okay. First, nothing is wrong with the way we dress. And nothing is wrong with the way we speak. Like Harry said just now, if you make an error while talking, you say everybody, it's a borrowed language. That's why you see, take the Igbos for an instance, when they are hailing themselves, you that you don't understand the language, you just want you get. And the Hausas too, when they speak their language, even if they don't want to do anything for you, and they see that you speak their language as an Hausa person, they can give you anything and everything you want as at that time. So nothing is wrong with the way. It is just been abused. It's just been abused because the Western world, they have their season for dressing. There's a winter dress, there's a summer dress, seasons like that. But you know, bringing it here, we've abused it. Because they feel, oh, when you travel, you see them dress like this, you see them behave like this. But there is a season for it. You not see the snow coming down and you see somebody wearing a shorts. It's not possible. But in our own country here, we've taking that culture,
crisis.
yes, identity crisis.
Identity crisis.
So taking that thing and abusing it because our heritage is very sweet. Now the Western people are trying to erode our culture, our indigenous cultures, our traditions.
They already did.
You understand? They are doing. No, some people are still holding, like the Igbos now. No, some people are still holding strong to say no, you can't do this. But the thing is, you see them, they want to still be like us. That's why they come to us. They buy African prints and they wear. You see them wanting to look like us, wanting to do everything like us, and we are doing the same. But they don't go to the extreme at which we go. That's why you see them, they want to speak Igbo, they want to speak Yoruba, they want to speak Hausa, they want to speak all languages, they get married to us, they want to just be a Nigerian. But we, on the other hand, we want to go and want to stay there fully, forgetting where we're coming from.
Okay. So if I can hear you clearly, in a simple statement, you're saying that Western influence has caused a lot of erasure of the African identity.
It has.
Rather than enrichment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Emmanuel, let me hear from you. Do you buy that school of thought?
Well, one of the things I want to say here is it has, I think, done more good than harm. Yes.
Western influence.
Yes, there's
Okay.
a this, there's a that. Reason I said this is, of course, when colonialism came and invaded Africa and they brought their culture and all of that. I'm just going to speed through it. The language we speak in, especially Nigeria, for example, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, was just within the community. But because of colonialism and how they took people out of Africa to different parts of the world, now this languages can be spoken almost everywhere in the world. I want to borrow from when God said in the book of Genesis 11, where he said, the people are one. The goal is for them to spread out, not to be somewhere. So if you look at today, a lot of cultural heritage of Africa are celebrated in different parts of the world because of colonialism. I'm not saying there was not a time where they were trying to impose their culture on us, but on the long run, we have more people speak this language, even though it's looking as though that in the country, it's looking as though most people don't want to speak Yoruba anymore, they don't want to speak Igbo anymore, but we are reverting back to our original cultural heritage, where even those that colonized us are trying to speak our dialect. So on the long run, the Western influence helped to expand what we had that was just within a small community or within a region.
If you think so, let me ask this question very literal. Yes, we're talking about the times of colonization and the likes of it. Do you think that, because I've heard people say these things and I just feel like we should talk about it, do you think that Africans are still trapped in that slave master era, where it looks like as though they still have that slavery mentality one way or the other that shows up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
If I may come in.
Henry, let's be fair.
Okay.
I feel like she wants to. Let's hear from her.
Okay.
Let him talk.
No, go ahead, Jamila. Jamila, go ahead. Don't worry.
Oh, elder statesman. Okay. Coming from Jamila.
Yes. Henry, please.
A rare compliment,
Yes.
I guess.
Right.
Yes, I think, I am sure of it, because let me give a quick instance. You see a well-read Nigeria travel abroad to study, and that person would have to start from almost from the scratch. Almost from the scratch. And a white man will come to Nigeria, even if they have anything, like maybe their college certificate, and you see our companies embracing them.
And we call them
making
expatriates.
Did you get? So we are still enslaved. Like, to them, I am not. To the people that worship them and feel, oh, this, Mary, oh, sweet Holy Spirit.
The slavery mentality is still there.
It's very
for
much.
Africans.
I don't, yes, there's something I don't
Because
say yes.
as an African, how do you travel abroad and they call you an immigrant? And when they come here, you travel abroad
And you call them
look for job,
expatriates, yes.
to work, and they call you an immigrant, and you come in here, and we call them expatriates.
Expatriates, yes.
Do you understand? So I'm one of those that believe in the decolonization of some of the words that we use and some of the things that we do. Well, I don't know how our parents saw it back then, but we are beginning to, just like you said, which is giving me a point, we are beginning to understand the gimmicks of the colonial masters. Do you understand? They saw something valuable in Africa. They came to Africa, this is literally, they came to Africa and decided, oh, this is wonderful. How are we going to get this, pick this, steal this from them, if you may. Oh, let's tell them it's bad and give them our own. So what they did was just an exchange. They just did like this, put their own on the table and took what belongs to us. That's basically what they did, which they are still doing till today.
Till tomorrow.
In terms of plundering Africa's natural resources. This thing, and the most annoying part for me is the fact that a lot of Africans still don't care.
All right.
When you tell them.
Emmanuel, I'm sure you have a response to that, but before you do that, the phone lines are officially open right now, and today we are looking at cultural identity. Yes, has Western influence enriched our societies or erased our heritage? And all you have to do is to call the numbers on the screen, or you can scan the QR code on the screen and send your message on King's Chat, and we'll definitely read it. Your response,
Can I
Emmanuel.
add to what he just said?
You want in 30 seconds, add to it so that Emmanuel can speak.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
And apart from, you see them coming to Africans to invest.
Okay.
You can never see a Nigerian man going abroad to say they want to invest. Rather, they will tell you they are going for greener pasture. At the end of the day, what are they doing over there?
But we have Nigerians right now who are now actually investing.
What are they
Maybe
investing?
the ratio is low compared
Mary,
to...
when it was cocoa, they took cocoa from us. They took
The ratio
granite from us.
is low. And again, the
ratio
playing
is
field.
not low, it is
no,
very
hold on.
low.
There's no level
There's no
playing
leveling-
field.
Then
Okay.
that is it. So now they come, they want to invest because they know this is a fertile ground in terms of cultural values, in terms of moral values, anything you can think of. Anything, any value you can think of, we have it. And they are lacking that. You see some of them, okay, this actor, what's his name, Jackie Chan, he was saying something and he said his days, that children of these days, this Gen Z, they are not well brought up. That before now, you see him, when he wants to greet his parents, he stands and he prostrates, take a bow, greet them until the father will say, how are you? Stand up, rise. You know his English is not really clear. He said, but now, when he comes back, his shoes are properly arranged, everything are in order. But you see his son will just, daddy, yo, what's up? Through everything. That he's regretting he trained his son in America.
Wow. Okay, Emmanuel, let me hear from you. Do you think that slavery mentality still has a hold on Africans?
You know, there's something he said earlier, and it's very, very, said they came, right? And they switched it. And what they did was bad, to be fair enough. But he said something that we are learning. If they never came, if they never took us, or took not us, took them away, if they were not exposed to the kind of things they were exposed to, we would not be thinking, we would not have had the knowledge of, oh, they did this to us. Now, we're talking about investment outside the country. I know personally someone who is into real estate in the United States, and he's doing very well.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria, he's doing very well. So what that did to us was that it opened us up to the truth. And then it may be slow, but we are gradually taking back what they took from us. Now, because we are behind them, so to say, because of the slow awakening, they seem to have a certain level of advantage where they try to nip us at one point or the other because they know that, oh, these people are making headway here. I don't know if you're following me.
Yeah.
But by and large, there is a great awakening in Africa. Look at President Traore.
Okay, so
for an instance, give an instance.
For
he
what
just
you just
gave one
said.
now.
No, hold
Ibrahim
on. Sorry,
Traore.
please.
No,
Let me
no.
butt in
What?
here. Are you trying to say that is to
Yeah.
Africa's advantage?
No.
now, here's what I'm
Because
saying.
the way you
Here's
sounded.
what I'm saying. Here's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Here's what I'm saying. What has happened, right? They took advantage of Africa. That cannot be flipped overnight. So the awakening had started.
Yeah.
Now, with the first person in Africa who came up with such a great awakening, Gaddafi, they took him out. Now we have a Traore. So what they do is they tend to cut off every attempt that Africa is trying to make to take back what is theirs. So what I'm saying is Africa is awakened to what has happened to them and gradually taking back what is theirs. Now we're not doing it from a central point anymore. We have different African communities, whether from Nigeria, whether from Zimbabwe or whatever, in different places who are fighting the case of their people. So now, instead of having Nigerians in just Africa, you have Nigerians all over the world at prominent positions. Presently, in the United States, the most educated people in the population of America are Nigerians.
Not just the United States.
I'm just
what
stating
you're
one.
trying to
So
say
what
in
exactly?
a nutshell is that, colonization happened.
Yeah.
It's an episode, and Africans should move away from it. They should recover.
We are
from
already
it.
moving from it.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes,
Because
please say something.
we are still, you know,
We're still trapped.
in this colonialism.
Like I said, it's not an
talking
overnight
We are
about.
still
You're
trapped.
talking like this.
We are
You
still
talking like
trapped.
this
We
tells
are
me.
still trapped, Emmanuel.
It's still telling me. It's just buttressing my point that colonialism or neo-colonialism, as it is right now, because it's subliminal. You are talking about Africans in the United States and other parts of the world that are doing amazing
Absolutely well.
things. And you are seeing that as, in quotes,
A good one.
something positive. It is not.
It is not.
I put it to you, it is not, because
It is not.
they are not in Africa.
Yes.
They are over there. They were lured. Do you understand? You know, when they want to do that, is they picked all the best minds, most of the best minds from Africa, and whisked
And
them
take it.
over
So
and
that
made,
is- and
made
like
it,
that
made
is
it
still
easier for them to come in, to
enslaved.
settle in,
Okay.
and then use them for their own benefits. And we are here praising them. Oh no, I won't praise that.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
no,
well,
no, no.
see,
I'm not.
Emmanuel,
Sorry,
Emmanuel,
you
let
got
me tell
it
you
wrong.
what you just said.
Sorry, you
Let
got
me-
that
let me-
wrong.
let me-
Hold on, let me
Just
finish.
say-
If you don't get
Let
my
me just
point
finish.
well, ask
Okay.
me.
No,
I'll
it's okay.
explain
Let me
to you.
finish. Let me finish.
So if you say
Let
I'm
me
praising
finish.
them,
it's
that's
all
wrong.
about perspective.
Emmanuel, hold on, you
It's
get
all
to
about
talk.
perspective. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Listen. In the same vein, it's as though this West, if they had told us that it was only teachers that can raise children.
Please hold your thoughts. We do
Autism.
have our first caller today
Okay.
on the Angles. Chris from Lagos has joined. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the Angles.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to
Good
you,
evening.
sir.
Good evening, friend.
Yeah, this topic is nice.
Thank
and,
you.
Really, Western influence approach our 100%. It's typical influence which is not also both in dressing, both in communication, both in color. You know, some people want to be a bystander, yeah, like a Johnson. Some want to what's it called? That word. Some also want to look at them. I haven't seen those in Western world and try to imitate Africa.
Nagbaja
There's
Sonia Ade.
many that
Exactly.
want to copy what they do, and also try to influence our culture. You know, because we go off part of Africa, I think that there are things, you know, you will hear, as you touch here, it's a Western world, in our culture. You know, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris, for that. You before you,
not
get,
sure
I
I
wanted
got-
you to clarify. I'm sure you heard what he was saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
in a
said
nutshell.
that in Nigerians you see people want to dress like Michael Jackson. He has not seen anybody outside wants to. And I said Sonia Ade,
Okay,
Lagbaja.
so he's trying to
So
say that the Western influence has
our culture, our
eroded
dressing,
the
our way of
heritage.
speaking, and everything. Yes, what he was saying, whatever. Let me tell you, there's this saying, or whatever it is he a saying now? It's just a slang. Burial rice is very sweet until it's been cooked in your compound. Do you understand? So you cannot expect me to applaud a Nigerian that is abroad studying and say you are doing well there, kudos, you are the best. Why can't he do the same here and let them come? And no, see, the truth is, Emmanuel, the truth is, you have to build what you have, value what you have. The value you give to yourself, it is what somebody else would give to you. Look at our leaders now, making decisions. They still travel overseas to seek the advice of whoever. They cannot take decisions on their own. They want to borrow money. How many people have you heard they come to Nigeria to borrow money? Is it that there is no money in Nigeria? We are rich. Like I said to people, Nigeria is a blessed country.
Let me
We
just
are
let me
blessed.
just chip in something. Did you know that sometime in history, America borrowed money from Nigeria?
I think I've heard this thing when Naira was
Okay.
it was when a dollar was Naira was more
I like
than
the
a
fact
dollar.
that you mentioned our leaders because I was going to even ask, you know, when Emmanuel, you mentioned that, of course, Africans are actually gradually living off that, you know, slavery mentality and the likes. And I was going to ask two questions, two-tier questions. Number one, do you think our African leaders are doing enough? And number two, is Africa not old enough to have already gotten
Exactly.
a hold of their independence? I mean, when we shout, oh, Nigeria is an independent nation or the likes of it, this is part of it. What did you get independence from? From the
Exactly.
colonial master. So before you answer that question, we do have a call. John from Abuja just joined. Hello, John. Good evening. Welcome to the Angles.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Excellent.
Good
Thank
evening,
you for
John.
joining.
Welcome.
Please go ahead.
Now, I was listening to your conversation. I think what is basic is that there's a balance. What he's saying is right.
Who?
If they did not come into the country, we wouldn't know that we have these things.
Okay.
So they came to open our eyes. So we realized, okay, no, we have this treasure.
Oh my God.
Now the problem lies in those people who know we have this treasure to now let the others know make this knowledge broad, that everybody understand that this is what we are meant to do, this is what we have in our land, and this is how best we can use it. So the problem is not with the colonial master, it's the people who have realized they've seen this light. They need to now spread this knowledge. So we know we are coming out of it. So it needs our people to liberate us, because they've actually kept us in slavery, and now they're actually still making our people enslave us. Because if I've gone through and I'm living a better life, I want to just be there alone. I don't want to tell someone else that this is something we could actually come up from. So it's a balance. Their culture made us realize that we have this, and it's beautiful we have it. So people who know we have it, they can spread this knowledge and say, look, we can come out of this slavery. So it is the knowledge that will bring us out of the slavery. It is not about the colonial masters still enslaving us. They are only enslaving us because our people want us to remain as slaves. Because once we are ready to move, now we can move as a nation out of it, educating our people that we can. In China, their policy trust is this: wherever you go, be on top. Don't be enslaved. So that's what their policy trust says. So for Nigerians, we have a policy trust. We can't be enslaved again. And if you stop slavery as a nation, the Chinese man will not enslave you. The white man will not enslave you, because they know their people are standing against it. So that's just what we need.
All right, thank you so much, John, for that intellectual contribution right there. And I'm going to take it from the last statement he made about if you stop slavery, you know, the Westerners would not enslave you. Following up with the question I was going to ask you, is our leaders doing enough? And is Africa not old enough to be able to stand on their own, owing to what John just said?
Well, first of all, before I respond to that, I think I've been greatly misunderstood when I talked about Africans in diaspora. And I wasn't trying to say because they are doing excellently well in their businesses or whatever. There was a conversation that led to that when you were talking about investment.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going to bring us back to what the conversation was, why I said that was because we have more people aware of the gimmicks of the colonial master who can help, who now have knowledge enough to help reverse the process. Because if you don't have knowledge of what these people are doing and how to reverse it, how is it going to be done? Imagine the man in the village with his family who now knows, who knows about colonialism but doesn't know how to overturn it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the knowledge of those people out there has exposed them to know how to overturn this. I said it is slow, maybe, but we are awake to this thing, and we're trying to overturn it. Now, bringing back, coming to your question. Now, John rightly said that it is not the problem of the colonial masters now. Those that have realized it should tell others and enlighten others on how to overturn this thing. Now, are the African leaders doing enough? No, they're not. No, they are not. Because if we have, say, for example, up to 5, 6, 10 of African presidents like President Ibrahim Traore in Africa fighting our cause, it will help overturn this thing quicker than it has taken. So Africa in itself is old enough to have been liberated from this colonial bondage. But the leaders have not done so much. Now, if we look at other aspects in terms of culture, in December, especially in Nigeria, we have more people traveling back to Nigeria to experience and celebrate their cultural heritage. So they are not lost in the wind. Now we have a good number of them that are lost in the wind, like she stated the example of Jackie Chan and his kids. But by and large, those that don't come back, you still see them still celebrate heritage. So, like I said, we are taking back what is ours, but the process is slow. But our leaders need to help facilitate this take back.
Yeah, talking about taking back, I want us to look at the aspect of vaccines, for instance. We see that when it comes to vaccines, Africans are only churning in whatever the Western culture has given to them. And it begs the question, are Africans not enlightened enough to even curate their own medication, to their food, vaccinations and the likes? Because the more we keep saying, oh, it's a gradual process, on who are we going to fall that on? Is it still because the Western culture still have an influence, or that these Africans are not awaking? Or are they giving them something that looks bigger than what they've ever dreamt about, and so they are buying into it? Why haven't Africans gotten to that point where they can actually produce their medicine, their foods, and independently of, the Western influence?
So I will tell you this. More Africans are still enslaved. You just mentioned Ibrahim Traore and a couple of others who are blazing the trail in trying to remove Africa from the clutches of the West.
Right.
How many are they? If you look at Africa, comprises of 52 countries, or 54, if I'm correct. 54 thereabouts, or 52 countries. There are just about 4 presidents, 4 countries.
Please hold your thoughts on having just about 4 countries. We have Ruth join the conversation. Hello, Ruth. Welcome to the Angles.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ruth.
Okay, so I've just been listening to the conversation, and I particularly got interested where the conversation delved into immigration. Emmanuel spoke about we having a lot of Nigerians abroad in the diaspora that are doing so great, and then Henry and Jamila countered it that they lure these best minds and for their own benefit, while the host country are left lagging behind because of these best minds that are out of the country. And so it just dawned on me that when you talk about immigration is almost a human thing. It's as old as human race. You cannot really erase that. Because really, it's bad enough that our best minds are being lured by these countries and they use them for their own benefit and leave the countries where the citizens live. They are lagging behind when it comes to these human resources. But on the second thought, we cannot erase immigration from human history. As far back as in the Bible times, Abraham immigrated. He left his father's house to a place far away from his people. So immigration will always be a thing. But one of the things, what I don't like about immigration is how that people leave their country, go to another man's country. And because of the advent of online, internet, people will set ring light and start talking so evil about their nation. And this thing is very common among Nigerians. You see a Nigerian that is abroad, you will hardly find an American who is living in Europe, who has even lived in Europe for 30, 40 years of his life, bashing America online. It's a right thing to behold. He could call out a government, he could call out a law, a policy that is not favorable. But to talk evil about this nation is very rare. But this thing is so common among, not even just Africa, it's common among Nigerians. You're living in America, you set ring light and you start talking bad about your culture. You start talking bad about the people, your citizens, about the culture, the things that make you a people, a nation. Start talking down on it is what I don't like. And I think it's high time as Nigerians we need to change it. And even Nigerians in diaspora, you want to immigrate, go to another nation, get better, do what you want to do with your life, but do not bash our cultural heritage.
All right.
It's wrong.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for that very interesting submission there. You are saying something.
Yes, let's not forget that our topic is Western influence, and as it enriched our, culture and so on. Let's not forget that.
Or erased.
Do you understand? And I said it has really erased a lot from our culture and who we are, our identity and what have you. Do you understand? Now, they came in and has anybody heard about the African, I think it's from East Africa, who invented a TV that does not need to use electrical power?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Thank you. That is the power of Africa, the real power, the undiluted power of Africa. Now they brought everything they brought. I'm not saying they are not nice, and I'm not saying right now we are, but I'm saying if there was no colonialism, who knows where Africa would be today? I bet you it would have been on top. It would have been on top of the world, because the knowledge and the resources in Africa are natural. They are from the cradle of humanity.
To add to what you said,
do you understand?
To answer to what you said, Mary, you talked about medicine,
Yes,
vaccination.
vaccination. Yeah.
Okay, I have a 3-year-old child, which I have never given a vaccine before. is hale and hearty. Nothing is wrong with him. Okay, I think I started with BCG before Pastor started educating us about it.
Pastor Chris, you
Pastor Chris started educating us about it, and immediately I stopped. And he's fine. Now, moving on to medicine. We have herbs. Most of this medicine are being produced with herbs. Okay, let's take, for instance, you see this, they'll say high sugar, diabetes, whatever. If you squeeze some bitter leaf, drink the juice, the sugar is reduced.
Okay, please hold your
Without-
thoughts. We do have Prince from Abuja joining. Hello, Prince. Welcome to the Angles. Oh, no.
lost.
Okay, quickly, so we can
Okay,
go to the
so
buzz.
like bitter leaf, I just give an
Yes,
instance of
bitter
diabetes.
leaf.
So we have several of them that you could even, without going to the doctor. I remember my grandma then, you can't even have a headache in a house. We were not bathing with soap. We were bathing with sand and charcoal. We were brushing with charcoal. She would sponge our body with sand and native sponge. Before this, whatever scented soap now it's given to us. And this is my skin.
I remember Dr.
Okay, Prince is
Abalaka.
back. We have to take the call. Hello, Prince. Welcome to the Angles. Hello, Prince. Are you there? Okay.
And this is my skin. The charcoal, there's nothing like matte odor then. It's not as common as it is now that they are saying the
Okay,
era
please hold your
of...
thought. Ignatius from Port Harcourt has joined. Hello, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for this topic.
Thank you.
Mostly on issue of the language, culture, or whatsoever.
Yeah.
Actually, they are actually enslaved us unknowingly. But now that we are new, we don't need to take it easy. Say it the way it is. I could give myself an example. I'm from Edo State. I live in Port Harcourt. My children doesn't speak my language. I was not born in a village. I was born in Lagos. My language was being taught by my dad and my mom.
I was going there.
Because we now went to school, so a lot of have been missing. It's a time to me now how to bring my children to understand their language and culture. I have a good friend because he now live in America. He called us Zoom. I told him, brother, it's because we now live in America, so we are now Zoom. You were brought up and raised up in a Zoom. Because you now live in America, you call we Africa Zoom. I said, no. I said, this is the truth we need to obey. Now you go to America, you are school there. You are the one to even preach the language you are missing, the culture.
Exactly.
Take Germany, for example, Russia, for example, China, they teach in their language. I have a school. My schoolmate is from Ibadan. Now they have brought a culture now teaching their children in school, in mathematics, in Yoruba language. Which in that aspect, they know it deeply. Just like what the brother said, there are things you want to express in English, you cannot. But in your language, you can do it.
You can, yeah.
So why German are more powerful in Europe? Why Russia are more powerful in Europe? Where are the English? Because the English, they want to suppress with the black, with our knowledge.
A bird
So
language.
the only thing we have to do, but thank God for Pastor Chris, telling us, look at African leaders. They brought COVID before them. They just adopted, they agree. Professors in doctor, in medicine. Okay, look at in Nigeria, the guy who was in charge of COVID, a doctor, for God's sake. He could not go to the detail to see what his country is heading to. Some of the law we have implemented because they were being promised a greener pasture. Let your people die. We have a place for you and your family to stay in Europe. Or maybe there's a house for you. That's why you say most of our leaders are doing what they are doing. They steal our money. They say, don't worry. Suffer your people. We have something for you. No. We, Africa, we have to say the truth.
Yes.
But thank God, Pastor Chris will be already the truth to us.
Yep.
They kill Gaddafi. But you look at they cannot kill that guy because he said the truth. But now we believe this is it. Now I have taken my language to my children. I think you're in Africa, anywhere you go. Not Africa by mentality. Yes, but we know. But put the gospel first. Preach the gospel. Let them know where you are from. Look at Pastor Chris. The whole world now is coming back to people in Ashashana is the headquarters of the whole world.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not
All
in
right,
Nigeria.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Ignatius,
much.
for your contribution right there. We could go on and on and on
Yeah.
and on, but thank you so much for that, as we have to move on. Now let's go take the boss. Let's get to see what a few persons are saying concerning the conversation. Let's have it. Akin says, Nigeria we once knew, with its noble and traditions, no longer exist. While multiculturalism is a reality, it has changed the essence of Nigeria itself, causing it to lose its unique charm. This change is deeply regrettable. TY says, there's a strange thing happening in Nigeria. Yoruba people are constantly asked to drop tribalism, to stop speaking Yoruba, to erase our cultural markers, and just blend in. But these same voices never seem to ask other groups to give up their own strong identities. In fact, many of those calling us out hold even tighter to theirs. So why is Yoruba identity treated as a threat? Because what we are being asked to abandon is not something shameful, it's not obsolete, it's not irrelevant, it's a globally celebrated culture. I will take one more. From Agbada on foreign runways to Afrobeat in global arenas, it's a continuation from academic studies to Owembe weddings in London, Atlanta. The world is embracing what some within Nigeria still mock. Our food, our fashion, our language, our spirituality, our music, all of it is in demand. It's no longer just Yoruba culture, it's global heritage. All right, thank you so much for that. Oh, this is really long. Now, it continues to say that by telling us to stop being tribal, they hope we all disconnect from our roots. By rebranding everything we've created as Nigerian or African, they hope to diffuse the credits and insert themselves into the story. And by appropriating this very thing they once ridiculed, while denying us the space to claim them, they hope to enjoy the benefit without acknowledging the source. It is not about unity, it's about erasure. Wow, that was really a very deep thought from the boss there, right? And of course, we have to wrap up the show right now. And I will just, Emmanuel, you will give us a final words because we need to go. Your final words in this.
Yeah, my final words. Now, Africa, Nigeria, as it may be, may not have had the rate of exposure it's had now if colonialism had not come in. So, like I said, with what they've shown to us, look at the internet, what we're able to do with it. Jamila was saying something about herbs. How many people knew about herbs, but for the internet, where, like I said, we are coming back to it. So the internet helps us to advertise these cultural heritages that we have, and it goes wider than it could have gone if that didn't happen.
Amazing. I mean, this is a deep conversation that an hour would not even drive through. But many thanks to you all for being on the show this evening. And of course, many thanks to callers and viewers and those that are watching. I think at the end of the day, the challenge is clear: to embrace progress without losing our roots. But we're going to leave you with this video from our man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome, and that pretty much sums up the conversation for today. Many thanks for watching. Until come your way next time. Do not forget, Rapathon starts 6 p.m. right after the angles end. So make sure you're glued to Love One XP. Have a fabulous one.
Okay? Became a bad name. All the colonies wanted to be free. And they connected colonization with slavery. It had a dark past. Nobody likes it. But the same groups that were responsible for forever colonization came up with a new name. It's called globalization. You own nothing, but you'll be happy. But they talk about sharing, but they don't mean all of us sharing. Remember, COVID? Don't go out. Stay indoors. Then they went playing golf outside. Parties and pubs banned, but they had parties. So when you talk about all of us sharing, that's not what they mean by globalization. No, 1,000 times no. And so those nations who are laying down everything they have and saying, okay, we're going to be one happy world, you're making a mistake. It's not going to be one happy world. So I just told you, globalization is a euphemism for colonization. Today's colonization. So it's countries being run from somewhere. Otherwise, if you don't understand this, go check the document that the WHO has given to countries. Why can't Africa be allowed to produce their own medication, their own vaccines? How many years do you need somebody to help you? How many years? For how long can you be waiting? It should be a shame at this time of your life and history if vaccines have to be imported to Africa to help Africa. It's a shame and a failure on the part of all the leaders. Your great-grandfather was helped. Your grandfather was helped. Now you want to be helped. It's a shame. You ought to come up with your own vaccines if you need vaccines. Whatever medicines you need. Isn't it a shame that leaders of African nations still have to travel to Europe and America to get medications when they get sick? You should be ashamed. At this time of your life, you should have grown up. For how long will you be a baby, a child? Then what are all the universities we have built? What are they for? It's about time you started thinking. And look at the brain drain of Africa. Take them away to Europe. They take them away to America. And now to Asia, to China. And you don't care. What kind of leadership that doesn't think about the future? What kind of leadership that has no vision for the future? We need leaders in Africa that can think. Leaders that have a brain, that have some mind, that have a vision. Paul said, when I was a child, I thought like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. When will Africa put away childish things? Every nation in Africa, listen, Africa is old enough. At this time, every nation in Africa that is still calling for help from another country, the leadership is a shame. You have more than enough resources to help your country. Why are you borrowing money from nations that don't have it? Europe doesn't have enough resources to borrow you money. Neither does China. They're only borrowing you money that they got from you.